As human beings, our greatest purpose is to have a positive impact on the world. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and happy, but secretly, we all hope they will do something great, like cure cancer or solve world hunger. Research scientists like myself realize that most studies we're involved in will have only a small effect, if any. But we hope that our work will lead to something more. 5 years ago, we started a project that showed that we can have a profound effect on the lives of others and make that positive impact. Our study was designed to lower the age of autism diagnosis so kids can get into treatment sooner. This work was necessary because for the past decade, the CDC has consistently reported that most children with autism in Arizona were not diagnosed until age 5. The results of our project showed that we can lower that age of diagnosis to just under age 2. Before I go into details on that project, let me explain why lowering the age of diagnosis is so important. In the first year of life, babies' brains are flexible. Nothing is set in stone, but they learn and acquire skills rapidly and easily, all due to what we call neuroplasticity. During those early years in a child's life, parents do not explicitly teach their children to develop skills. Instead, they provide diverse sensory experiences that include exposure to a variety of people, children, toys and books, and close maternal experiences that involve eye contact, facial expression, and touch. With each experience, the brain is responding with electrical impulses that surge through neurons, helping the baby to pay attention to important aspects of their environment. With repeated exposure to familiar people and things, connections start to form. As the process continues, some pathways get stronger, while other connections fade and then break away. This process is called learning. It is happening all over the brain, and as a result, babies are developing a variety of skills needed to function in our world. Parents watch this astounding rate of development happen before their very eyes, and it all takes place from birth to 3 years, when the brain has the most neuroplasticity. During that same time period, for some kids, symptoms of autism are beginning to emerge. The learning process is still happening, just more slowly, and as a result, development is delayed. If a child is not diagnosed until age 5, the brain has significantly less neuroplasticity, and intervention is significantly less effective. Diagnosing early is the key to optimizing treatment, but we know that diagnosis is delayed for 2 reasons. 1, the lack of a standard screening procedure for very young children, and 2, long wait lists to see diagnostic professionals. Our project addressed these problems head-on. We recruited 109 pediatricians from 13 practices in Maricopa County. We taught them a simple screening method for children as young as 12 months. Then we provided children who failed the screen rapid access to high-quality diagnostic evaluations. The most common age of diagnosis among children identified by our network was 22 months. That's 3 years earlier than the age consistently reported by the CDC. That's 3 years better spent on intervention. Now, diagnosing autism at any age is not easy, but catching it early is even more difficult because for most young kids, the symptoms of autism are very subtle. To illustrate, I'm going to show you 2 videos. The first is a video of a 16-month-old typically developing child. The examiner is blowing bubbles for her, and you'll see that she's easily engaged. She makes eye contact, vocalizes, points, smiles, and imitates. But most important, she enjoys the interaction. Let's watch.
You get them! Ready? Yeah! Oh, so little! Those bubbles. What do you think? Yeah. Good! Pop, pop, pop! You get them! Nice job, Lily! Yay!
Now let's watch a video of a child with autism who's just about the same age, and you'll see a very different reaction to the same activity. Instead of engagement and enjoyment, you'll see he shows almost no interest in the activity or the examiner.
Here comes another one. Here comes a bunch more. Let's do some more. Look at get that one. Get it. Ah, it popped.
When you're comparing the two videos, the difference is obvious. But if the second video was viewed in isolation, you might think, maybe he just doesn't like bubbles, or maybe he's tired. It was clear that he didn't enjoy the interaction, but he didn't do anything that was terribly odd. The lack of obvious problem behavior is the root cause for many parents and practitioners alike to take a wait-and-see approach with very young children. In reality, they are waiting until the child's symptoms worsen. By waiting, most children with autism develop more observable but potentially disruptive behaviors. They may be easier to diagnose at age 5, but at what cost? Why wait? Our research project showed that it is possible to diagnose autism earlier and take full advantage of those valuable years of brain development. The problem is, a research project isn't real life. We finished our project. We met our goal. So what's next? How do we extend the impact of our project beyond the families that were directly involved in our study? With partners. A local insurance company, Arizona Complete Health, heard of our project and its effect on the autism community, and they want their pediatric providers to follow our screening and referral procedures. With their support, we will keep screening and diagnosing early, but we've added a new step. The children identified in this new network of pediatricians will begin treatment with our Jumpstart online program immediately after receiving a diagnosis. These kids will seamlessly move from screening to diagnosis to treatment, all within a matter of a few months, a process that now can take up to 3 years. As we form more screening networks, Arizona will go from the state with the highest age of diagnosis to the one with the lowest. And every child with autism in Arizona will have their best chance to live a happy, well-adjusted life and meaningfully contribute to society. And who knows, maybe one of them will cure cancer or solve world hunger. Thank you.